Mind age.
Ready? Go.
Team Hong Kong. Sometimes that can serve you well. They say the young are fearless, but you know, this Greece side,
Hong Kong, break first.
I wouldn't consider them oldsters by any stretch of the imagination. In pool terms, Alexander Kazakis is a rising player.
Break one.
And
Hong Kong,
he has reached the top of the sport. He won the Kremlin Cup, which was a world-class tournament. That was just last year. And then he has done pretty well on the Euro Tour. He's one of these players that you expect to see, you know, with more success, because if you follow the sport, he has, you know, gotten some high finishes and a few wins. So he's definitely on the rise. And Nick Malai has sort of disappeared from the scene for about a year, and then came back, and he's actually Albanian but resides in Greece now. Also a very good player.
So Yu-hsuan, he won the lag, and that Hong Kong got to break. Not a bad break, but not very fortunate in the end. The reason for that, the pink 4-ball is blocking their path to the 1. It's been a very good tournament so far for the seeded nations. We've had 9 completed matches, as you've heard. 8 seeds through. The only exception, Canada, beaten by Scotland.
Well, Biado here, he plays a push out. Now, this shot you may not be familiar with. Greece can take this shot on, or if they don't like what they see, and obviously he can see the 1 ball, so we expect him to take it on. But if he doesn't want to play the 1, he can actually hand the shot back. Generally, you won't see players leave a shot on this wide, this obvious. Hong Kong gets away with it, but that ball ends up safe.
Alexander Kazakis, a veteran of this tournament, well known for playing with a former Mosconi Cup player from Greece, Nikos Economopoulos. They formed a good pairing. I think this pairing is pretty formidable as well.
They are. Yu-hsuan and Robbie Capito, you know, young and you know, haven't played in a lot of the biggest tournaments, but Yu-hsuan was the runner-up at the World Junior Championship, which is a big event, as you heard. Rather, semi-finalist.
Yeah, the runner-up was his partner, Robbie Capito.
That's
so
right,
they've got pedigree, there's no doubt about that.
So both of them did well at the World Junior Championship, and that is a WPA World Junior Championship. That is the under 21 world title.
And add to that, Capito was the Asian Junior Champion last year as well. So he's a straight shooter.
He did well there in negotiating that traffic. No, that one didn't make the grade, but he may get, no, he doesn't get safe. He leaves it open. Nick Malai now.
There is definitely a touch of the Johnny Depps there. I agree with Alexander Kazakis. Pirates of the Caribbean comes to mind. That kind of look. Looking to plunder the booty here.
Extension call.
Is one of the really top young players out of Europe, and he's on the international circuit. He goes to most of the big events around the world. He's really focused on his game right now.
And in company with Economopoulos, they produced an extraordinary result in 2014 in this competition, defeating England, who were then represented by Carl Boyes and Darren Appleton, by a score of 7 racks to 1.
I remember that, and Team England was shell-shocked, run out of the building. Yeah, they're a tough squad. And sometimes it helps when you're flying under the radar. You know, we're looking at the Philippines and Chinese Taipei and China A, Austria, Germany. Those are the marquee teams.
What I've noticed during this clearance, which you must assume will be completed with this 9-ball, both of them have played with a very nice rhythm. And that augurs well for the Greeks, who have taken a 1-rack-to-0 lead. By the way, in terms of continental composition of the winners so far, as we've said, 9 completed matches. Hong Kong are trying to become the 4th Asian side through. As it is, 3 Asian teams are into the last 16, 6 European sides. I think this one is quite a tough match to call, though. You have to make Greece favourite because of their extra experience.
Absolutely.
But the Hong Kong players have got youth on their side, they've got exuberance, they've got recent winning mentality, albeit in junior events, and I think this could be quite close.
Sure, there's a lot of intangibles that go into you know, determining the outcome of a match, but on paper, Greece is definitely the favorite here.
We've had so much already in this tournament. The one thing we haven't seen yet is a deciding rack when it goes 6 each, hill. That will come, though, almost inevitably. Well, the 2-8 looks on, and away they'll go.
Quite the result he wanted. It's about maintaining position. So instead of having to keep going, they have to play safe. It's quite a nice safety there.
Extension
Appears
call.
to have taken out any chance at a jump shot. Oh, he's got the jump cue. Okay, maybe you can see part of that blue 2 sticking out from the 7. Yeah, there's a piece of it there. Okay. Gotta watch the foul. Oh, wow, what a great shot, but he scratched. Capito scratched. Wow, Phil, that was a terrific pot.
Well, when you pot a ball like that, you do not deserve to go in off, especially when the balls are like this. Basically saying, okay, Greece, go to 2-0, because that's what surely they will do.
Yeah, there's certainly no guarantee that he was going to get position on the red 3 coming back, but still, it is a shame to have scratched off of such a terrific pot. Let me tell you, that is not easy what he just did.
So this basically, this 5-ball dish is what they call joining the dots. Just a series of very simple pots with stuns attached.
And these matches so short, just race to 7, winner breaks, and they usually come down to just a handful of less than a handful, sometimes just 2 mistakes we've seen, and can cost you the whole match. You just don't have much time to get it right here. This will be Alexander Kazakis. 2-0 now.
Right.
Greece cruising, race to 7. They'll be breaking in rack number 3.
Well, they say there's no substitute for experience, and obviously the Greeks are the more experienced pairing. That said, the Hong Kong players are promising, and they could catch a gear. 2-0 is still very early in these race to 7s, these best of 13 racks matches, and that was the shot that effectively decided the contest in rack number 2. Good jump shot in terms of the pot, but the cue ball ran loose. I think with Kazakis it would be overstepping the mark to say at the moment he's Alexander the Great, but he's very good. Still room for improvement, and he knows just how much hard work is required to get up the pool ladder, and I think he's one of those guys who's prepared to put in the toil.
Well, he is currently in the midst of putting in all that effort that you mentioned, because like I said, he travels all over the world. He would certainly be classified if you took a ranking, because not all the events are WPA ranking events, but he's certainly in the top 20 in the world right now. Oh, and they got cue ball got away from him and he scratched. So this is the chance for the Hong Kong team to get a few back. So that means a ball in hand anywhere on the table. And that was just unfortunate. Unlucky. He hit a great break shot. You want to park that cue ball right in the middle, but it got kicked in by the brown 7. Just unfortunate.
And so the way this works, when you have something like this, a gift, you have to accept it. They would fully expect it to run out if they were playing as individuals. Of course, it's a different dynamic when you're playing Scotch doubles, and these two would not have played this, certainly at this level, before, so it's all a learning experience, a learning curve.
Nicely done. Leaves an angle for Robbie Capito to bring this cue ball around. That's what it's all about in 9-ball. It's control of Whitey. Cue ball. Oh, that is shocking. So another error. But that is a glaring miss right there.
The rest head did not seem to be all that steady when he played that shot, and I think that's what undid him. No excuses.
Well, That's not the best safety there, Phil. That was, he had a good chance there. A lie to get some cover on that 5 ball, but he left it open. So this could be a gift back for another gift for Hong Kong. Getting some distance on the safety. But Greece can see this.
Extension goal.
Just to repeat, it's a 30-second shot clock in operation, but in each of the racks, each team can take a 30-second extension, normally for thinking time, and that's certainly the case with this particular shot. That, though, was not worth the wait.
You are very correct, Phil. So a poor effort from Alexander Kazakis. Now it's about converting. Both teams seem to be having a bit of a struggle getting used to the conditions out here. Oh, it's just a horror show.
Well, it's the worst rack of the tournament so far in terms of standard. That's what it is. He's already missed the 5 ball on one occasion with the rest, and now he misses it with his hand on the table. Simply no excuse. Unforgivable. Okay, playing on TV, big pressure, but those balls should not be missed.
Yes, it can be hard to concentrate out here. You're not used to this kind of level. So all these cameras here, and we're being seen in many countries, and plus, you know, in pool terms, you just don't have much of a chance to get into that groove. If you're playing a race to 13 or 15, you know, you can afford to give up a few racks and hopefully get in the groove. Not in a race to 7.
And that positional shot wasn't the best either. Okay, the cut is on, but it's thin, and that means control of the cue ball can be compromised. Normally this would be a given, but after the mistakes we've seen in this rack, I'm saying nothing.
Underline.
There it goes, and so here in Shanghai, in the World Cup of Pool, at the moment, Greece is the word. They lead 3-0.
You got a feel for the lads. It's nerve-wracking out here, and they are clearly being affected by the pressure. It's a lonely, cruel sport sometimes, even when you have a partner sitting with you. Wow, look at this break shot. Oh yeah, and got a nice nudge there from the 2 to keep it on for the first shot out. So we see the pink 4, the 1. The orange 5, 3 balls down and a shot on the 2. Bright skies right now for Greece.
all day, this table has been breaking so friendly, so well. I think that's why we're seeing such rhythmic and aggressive flowing pool.
Yes, very few push-outs. We've had a few good safety exchanges. It's really going to come down to who can master the break, but as we get further along in the tournament, it's also going to come down to, as it always does, who can handle the pressure.
I think so far you have to say, in terms of the quality of their break-off, Spain had the edge. They were brilliant in that regard. But that Greek break was explosive also, and very productive.
And success in one match in this event doesn't guarantee success in the next match. We've seen some teams stumble through the first few rounds, and then all of a sudden, right near the end, they catch that gear and win the title. It's the way it happens in these tournaments. Oftentimes, and even in singles tournaments, you see players who go on to win the tournament always suffer a near defeat, a scare, in which they came back at the last second in, let's say, a quarterfinal match, and almost got knocked out, and then just, you know, skated into the semis, and next thing you know, they're freewheeling it and playing with such confidence, and they go on to win the tournament.
Well, there's no hint of a scare here. Greece 4-0 up. Absolutely in command. And this was the reason why they won the fourth rack. That break off from Nick Malai. Ball's in, 2 on, 3 in the open. Thank you very much.
Kazakis, in his pre-match interview, said it best. We're just trying to stay in the moment. It can be very difficult to do, but you just take it one shot at a time. You can't be looking forward to the next match, and it's too much of a dangerous format. Short races, winner breaks. Well, there he's able to control the cue ball a lot better. Will there be a shot on the one? I believe there will be.
Yes, there's a path past the brown 7 ball for the one. Quite a tricky cut, but it's on nevertheless.
2 balls down.
Not quite positional no man's land, but far from ideal. And just like that, rack 5 beckons for Greece.
Well, they can make the game look very simple when you are breaking well.
Of course, Greece, a country which produced so many great philosophers. I think it's Hong Kong who need to be philosophical at the moment. The rack on a Plato, or on a plate.
No, don't. You didn't just go there, did you, Phil? Oh, my.
It's totally one-sided here. Greece looking really good. Okay, lots of mistakes in the third rack, but they broke and ran in rack 4 and in 5 as well. Nicky Malai and Alexander Kazakis going grey guns. The youngsters from Hong Kong being given a baptism of fire.
Well, that was one of your better ones, Phil. That was, I mean, grease is the word. That was, but that's a, you know, you've used that one before, but that was a new one. That was a new one.
Yeah, grease is the word. That's been recycled, in fairness. I have used it before. Got to own up to that. Guilty in all counts, Your Honour.
But were you mentioning that you're saying the younger generation might not even know what that means, right?
Well, absolutely, yeah. Great film it was, I think, in the, was it late 70s or early 80s? John Travolta. Anyway, back to the pool. Nick Malai will be hoping to replicate the standard of his break in rack 4, which was simply tremendous.
Interesting. He just slams into the rack. And he gets 2 balls down, the 3 and the 7. Shot on the 1. So there's no formula for that break shot. Spain was hitting it on a mediums to soft break, and Nick Malai just got up and pounded him.
I think everyone in pool agrees that the Matchroom promoted events are the cream of this sport, and I've had the privilege of commentating on many of them. I don't ever remember seeing a table that breaks quite as friendly as this. Pretty much every session has been the same. Certainly throughout today. And the Greeks have found the key.
Extension call.
I suppose, Ted, if you've got the extension, why not take it? Just settling down, realising that a good pot here in position will make it 6-0 effectively. And both have been duly delivered.
Well, it's all laid out for Greece. They don't even have to communicate with each other. They're in a good rhythm. They're waltzing to the finish line.
Well, youth is being served here. Served a ticket home. Greece, absolutely one-sided, one-way traffic here. They lead Hong Kong 6 racks to 0. In no time, they're on the hill.
And on top of that, there was those shocking errors. Shocking misses from Hong Kong of just ordinary straight in shots practically. Look at this. Two balls down, the 4 and the 6. Can see the 1. No obvious pocket. Oh, and he comes with a nice bank. Good offensive play.
Another one required here. If they get this position on the 3, it could be good night.
Well, this is like freewheeling time. You just can play all the offense you want, because you're up 6-0 in a race to 7. So there's absolutely no pressure on the Greeks.
Well, I thought from Alexander Kazakis' reaction that he might just have covered the 3. I think lots of side is required on this one. Oh, what a shot. It was applied and it was knocked in like a rabbit down a hole.
Now that's impressive. This guy, Nick Malaj. He's got some fire, doesn't he? Now, I know it's been sort of handed to the Greeks because of this, these shocking misses by Hong Kong, but you have to say, Phil, that Greece has played exceptionally well when they're at the table.
Well, let's face it, Hong Kong have been sitting down for the last 4 racks. No involvement whatsoever. Robbie Capito missed the 5-ball twice in the 3rd rack. After that, it's been all Greece. And what a performance that is. Well under an hour it's taken them to defeat Hong Kong by 7 racks to 0. They could be a serious contender for this World Cup of Pool title going forward.
Clinical from Greece, who put a 4-pack on Hong Kong, didn't let them get to the table for 4 racks. Absolutely brilliant.